Hi Nada, what's up?
Hi, Mansoor. What's up?
How are you doing?
Good, good. How are you?
Wallah, I've been good. I'm waiting for this episode, but something weird that like I don't know. Shog is always here, يعني. Thank God we have Shog. But the rest نفسي أفهم وينهم. It's okay, we can start. We can join later as long as it's recorded. So yeah, are you ready?
Alrighty.
Yeah,
Yes.
please, Nada, if you may like introduce yourself to know more about you. Because I've been through
Okay.
your page, Instagram page. It's super dope, actually. Your pictures are super dope. It's like benefiting me a lot, especially in
Oh,
quarantine.
thank you.
Yeah, fam, for real.
Personally.
So yeah, just a brief introduction, please, if you may.
Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Nada Tawfik. لازم نقول الاسم بالإنجليزي Nada Tawfik.
أكيد.
And I'm a life coach. I'm currently doing my master's in counseling. And since quarantine and COVID, I decided to start like practicing because everybody is like left alone in their homes with their families, with their
Yeah,
spouses, and they're
yeah,
like, okay, I had enough. I need to like, I need to get out of this. I need to get out of my
yeah.
house. I need to like, when is life getting it back to normal?
Uh-huh.
And that's where I started May and June. I was like, okay, guys, I'm gonna give like a 30 minutes free life coaching, just something like to give back to the community.
Hmm.
And it took over from there.
Yeah, amazing. And like, where did you, if I may ask, where did you study your
Yeah,
major?
so I have a bachelor's in clinical psychology and I have a master's in business management. So it's
Oh,
like two
mashallah.
different.
Yeah.
They
Amazing.
covered most of the fields.
I cover more.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like very diverse, like two different stuff, which you can actually link together, like it's somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
of course.
when you're like basically a counselor and you get like a client who's like from business or like finance, and you have to understand these things. You're like, okay, so like, give me a second. I need to like, what is the definition of finance? What do you do? So
Hmm.
you need to like, yeah,
Yeah.
It's an easier
do it for the
bridge.
client. Yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
But as I can like see from your page, Nada, you're focusing a lot of like how to reduce anxiety, right? Like the mental health, in general,
Mental health. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So if I may ask, like you have a picture you posted, I saw it, but like when you talk, يعني, you try to, يعني, you understand it more, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So if I want to go straight into it, like what are like the ways, as you mentioned, like to reduce anxiety, how to deal with it exactly?
And anxiety. There's a very new cool way
Mm.
that I just like actually got introduced to. So when you get an anxiety attack, it is very hard to be like, okay, I need to focus. I need to like get into the logical mental state. So you
Yeah,
go
yeah,
more into like, okay, I'm panicking. Every organ in my body is like panicking, and you have to like
mm.
realize some things of like, okay, what am I aware of? What is there in the present moment right now?
Yeah.
So it is kind of linked to breath because when you get an anxiety or you feel anxious, you tend to like breathe a lot.
Yeah,
People always feel short in breath and they
yeah.
need to catch some air. So there's a technique where you take in a breath at 7, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7,
Yeah.
and you let it
Oh,
out at 11.
oh my God, I do it. Do you know I do it in, sorry for that. I do it in boxing actually. It
Do it
helps
in
me.
boxing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it slows my heart rate as well. Like I do it between
yeah,
each round. Yeah, it's like
yeah.
it's beneficial. I'm being honest. At the first time when my coach introduced me to it, I was like, I think he's talking nonsense or something.
Yeah.
Talking
But when
nonsense.
I
Yeah,
tried it, I was like, yeah, it's working.
Yeah, people usually like
Yeah,
do not acknowledge the significance of breathing since it's like I
yeah,
do it every day. How would it differ with a different pattern? It's actually
yeah,
like let's say the Calm app and like these apps that like whether it's sleeping, whether it's anxiety, whether it's like meditation for like your
exactly.
body itself and like even like therapy.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
not like therapy as in like from anxiety, but like physical therapy
physical
like
therapy.
they
yeah,
Yeah,
do actually like they do use breathing patterns which is like it's odd, but like it's weird to explain it to someone that's like not in the field because of how
Yeah,
again
that's
we do
what
it
happened
every
to
day.
me.
So
Like,
how would it differ to like
yeah,
for
when I heard it
therapy
for
and
the
physical
first time,
therapy?
Yeah.
I was like, I don't think it's gonna work. I don't think I'm gonna breathe heavy, and that's it, you know. But when I tried it, yeah, like it's okay. So one way, that is breathing, as you mentioned. Like, is there another like a major one as well, an
Yeah,
important?
something that I want to comment about when you said that, okay, you feel like breathing is not going to work because we do breathing automatically, right? So it's like something
Yeah,
that I do every second in my life.
Yeah.
yeah,
So when someone like tells you, okay, breathe, but breathe differently, they're like, man,
mm,
what's
Yeah,
different it's gonna
exactly. Yeah.
make?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That was like the
Yeah.
first thing that popped up into my mind. I was like, okay, I'm breathing. Like, what's the difference if I breathe like 7 seconds, as you said? Actually, he told me 8. I don't know. He's trying to kill me, maybe, but it
Try to
worked.
kill
It really
you.
worked. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, another one way is like the breathing, and is there
Yeah.
another way like
Well,
that
of course,
helps?
it's
Or
it's
limit?
it's it's like talking it out because anxiety is associated with like mind errors.
Mhm,
And we want to talk about mind errors and anxiety. It's more like, okay, I have an anxiety that I will fail this test.
mhm,
For
mhm.
example. And are you really? Are you really
Yeah,
gonna fail this exam? Are you
Yeah.
really gonna fail this midterm? You studied? Yes, I
yeah,
studied. Are you well prepared? Yes, but I'm like still afraid of it. And
yeah,
it's
yeah.
kind of like fear of the unknown because you don't know what's gonna come in that exam. But if I
Exactly.
told you that this exam will have this and this and this and this and that, then
You'll
you'll
Yeah,
feel like
stop
it's
being
more,
anxious.
yeah,
yeah, you feel like, okay, I know
exactly.
this, I'm aware of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
prepared for it. Yeah, yeah.
I am prepared for it. So yeah, it's a mind error. Like
Hmm.
I always tell my clients that you should be aware of what your mind goes through. You
Mm.
should
Mm.
identify, okay, right now I am more in like, okay, so I feel this. No, this is a mind error. You should know
Yeah,
it. When you know it, you kind of know more about yourself and you will stop feeling anxious.
Yeah, definitely.
exactly. And
And
yeah, yeah, go for it.
go ahead.
By mind error, you mean like when something is about to happen and you think you overthink, يعني, about it. Is that like the definition of mind error or mind?
Mind error is okay. It's
Or
a
when you're
long
trying
explanation.
to
Yeah,
just a
mind.
very brief
Yeah,
one to like yeah to understand it
yeah.
more.
Mind error is basically a wrong set of belief. It's a wrong set of like
Okay,
it's a
okay.
wrong, and who is more linked to like you have like extreme unrealistic conclusions. Give
Okay.
unrealistic
Yeah.
conclusions. It's like the same as saying, okay, I didn't. For example, I got like a 14 out of 20 in exam. Then
Mm.
I'm gonna fail this course.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I
Are
got it.
you
Yeah.
So
really
it's
gonna fail
yeah,
this
yeah.
course? Yeah,
Yeah,
there
yeah,
you
yeah.
go.
I got it. So yeah, what do you want to say?
So I was gonna ask, so have you like met people and like since like you're a life coach, do you meet them face to face? Do you sit with them? Is it like what we see in movies? Like sit in
Why
that
do you see
couch?
movies?
Yeah, because it's like they have this big
Yeah,
couch thingy and like is this how it is or like
yeah. So it's more like counseling and psychotherapy. That is
yeah,
more like a couch and like sleep and
yeah.
like with that. But for me, no, I do like videos, phone calls, and I do face to
Oh,
face. But
Mhm.
with face to face, we're just like sitting
yeah.
regularly, like in
Yeah,
a
yeah.
table.
Just
Yeah,
talking. Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
yeah,
what's the difference between clinical and like the
yeah.
normal one?
Okay, so you have clinical. So obviously you have psychiatry, that is the medical one. You
Yeah,
have
yeah.
clinical psychology, counseling, and life coach. And some people, especially if we're talking more in the Middle East, you feel like, okay, you're a psychiatrist, then you're the best of the best. يعني ما في كلمة
Yeah.
بعدك. But when
Ah.
you go to like clinical psychology, it's more like talking about disorders. You're more looking at clinical definitions.
Mm.
Counseling is more like, okay, open up, let's talk about your past, let's
Yeah.
identify some problems. But with life coach, it is more like goal oriented.
Yeah.
Like, okay, for example, I want to lose weight. Okay, let's
Mm.
lose weight.
Mm.
It's more like, okay, let's lose weight. But with
Yeah, yeah.
counseling, if you want to go and be like, let's look. Okay, why right now? How
Okay.
did you used to
So you
like
set them
eat
back on
in the
track.
past?
Like
You
you
set
put
them
them
back
back
on
on.
track.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's basically more regarding the approaches, because since I have I have like experience in clinical psychology and counseling,
Mm.
so I kind of use everything that I learn. So I always tell my clients, like I'm a little bit of everything. I'm not like a full life coach. I'm not like a full
Yeah.
counselor.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
So Nada, how do you gain experience with it through time? Like, what's the best way to gain like experience with it?
I used to not believe this, but the more you listen to clients, the
Mm.
more that you feel like, okay, so you know this, and then you get another client with the
Yeah.
same like situation. So you feel like, okay, you kind of get to meet more people, and you kind of get into it more,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
gives you a sense of, okay, so I had like three clients with the same situation, so I know what
Mm.
to do right now.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
of course, like you have to keep on learning.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
to keep
Definitely.
on like, yeah, I have to always be like updated, because
Yeah.
especially with mental health and psychology, everything دايما there's something new.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then like maybe there's like
Never stop.
different levels of severity, right? In like each case you meet.
It's not per se severity, but
Yeah.
every case is unique.
It's
Yeah.
not like
Yeah.
Yeah,
severe.
It
Severe is
has.
like so harsh
yeah,
for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
sorry. Yeah, I got you, I got you.
But
Yeah.
like when I don't know why أنا كمنصور when I hear the word psychology أول شيء بيخطر في مخي that comes to my mind mental health. I don't know why. It's weird, but it's like أول شيء بفكر فيه, And like honestly, what I realized, يعني, this is a fact. I think in the Middle East, okay, there are people who are sometimes they suffer from mental health issues, but I feel like يعني برا for example in the UK, I read it one time that the UK in 2019, I think, it had like the highest percentage of people who are like are suffering from mental illness and etc.
Yeah.
So like mental health, like how to improve it, like how what's the best way? And I have my own ways, but I don't think it's gonna work for
Yeah.
others. So what's the best way to describe it, if that makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me say this. قبل like 2 years ago, since 2014 till 2 years ago. So I
Yeah.
used to have this mental health campaign back in Saudi Arabia, and that's what we used to do. We
Mhm.
used to like spread awareness about mental health
Yeah.
and so on. So we
Yeah,
did
yeah.
it. We went on the streets and we actually asked people this question. Like, what do you
Okay.
think about mental health? Do you think that it needs to be improved?
Yeah.
And surprisingly, being in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, in the middle of the Middle East,
Mm.
I like this.
Yeah.
So yeah, people they know, they're like, okay, yeah, I know a lot of people who have mental health issues. Okay,
Yeah.
do they do something about it? They're like, oh, no,
Uh-huh.
like
You know what? Like
yeah,
So they're not aware of it, right?
yeah, and something that strikes me here in the Middle East is the fact it's like أول شيء قلة الإيمان. If you tell them something's wrong with you, they tell you oh قلة
go
الإيمان, and
pray.
then
Yeah,
go pray. And then the other thing, it's such a taboo thing. Like if you mention something like oh I'm not good mentally, then you're like like something's up with you. Something like
Yeah.
they bury it so much. So it's a taboo. Like nobody talks about it, although it's like it is the fundamental of what everyone is
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
It's a fundamental of
yeah,
families. It's fundamental of how good a job is going, and it's like a cycle.
Mm.
So it's
yeah.
for the benefit of.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I was saying that I believe that it has something to do with basically what they know. Like when you say these people who are commenting, I would like uh, if I don't want to stereotype, but it's like the majority of them are like older people, and
Yeah,
I don't blame them because that's what they know. That what
Yeah.
exactly.
they
Yeah.
know. When I'm feeling down, I'm gonna go and pray, do a little bit of Quran, and I'll feel better.
Exactly.
Because let's always keep in mind that psychology is a very new field.
That
Yeah,
exactly.
definitely.
That's what I
Yeah,
was trying to say. Yeah. Thank you for
And
that. That
then
was what I
yeah,
was trying to say.
like
Mm.
I feel like again, like since like it's not like a new thing. Like people are starting to have anxiety new. I feel like Zaman in
yeah,
Iraq, a person used to have anxiety, but they thought it was normal, so they passed on. Like it was like just an
Actually,
itch and just
I
like
had
left. Yeah.
this mentality I feel it's والله ما بعرف ليش. I feel it's in the like Middle East, especially when they had to survive. So they had like يعني tough, you know, like issues, road to cross or bridge to cross, and they didn't suffer from all of that mental health. I don't know why, you know. Sometimes it's يعني it depends on the person, you know.
Depends on the person. Yeah.
Yeah, like some people are like okay, that thing happened, okay, inshallah I'm gonna do 1 2 3 and then I'm gonna خلاص be better, you know, in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like sometimes people should, before they uh, go like suffer from a mental health or something, you should think and look to others, you know, like
Yeah.
check out others. Sometimes yeah, your case is okay, but others have, you know, worse.
Can I
Yeah.
ask a question?
Ali? Yeah, Mariam.
Does the environment they're in also affect their mental health?
Good question.
The environment, of course, the environment affects the mental health. So if I want to wrap up everything we just said in the past couple of minutes, it is all linked to the environment, as you just said, Mariam, right?
Yeah.
Mariam. So yeah, it is linked to the environment, and the environment is linked to your support system. So when you're saying, okay, I had it, but someone else had it, and you know, like I wish that I can talk to someone who also suffers from anxiety, does the environment have that access? Does it have that resource that, for example, a meet and greet, for example, a group therapy, just sitting together like 5 people who are also suffering from anxiety, you'll feel a sense of like welcomeness. You'll feel a sense of, okay, I'm not alone. You won't feel that thing. It's like, okay, أحس إنه this is only me. I'm only this
Exactly. That's yeah. You said it in a better way. But أنا هذا اللي كنت I'm trying to say it. Like حتى honestly, I had some like issues with my يعني with my look. I didn't like that. I didn't have hair or something. I was a bit chubby. مش a bit كثير chubby. So I was like all the time. Why me? وليش هيك صار معي? Even I was like taking some medicines. It wasn't benefiting me at all. So I had to go to a hospital outside even the country. I stopped school for 1 year because of that. And then when I went there, they're like, Mansour, you need to stay with us for 1 week to study your case more. So at that time, okay, these are like bad things. But أنا كمنصور بعترف إنه I was weak. I was very weak. You know, some people are مثلا blind. Some people they don't have, you know, are like, if I may say, disabled or something. And I was blessed, you know. The only problem that I'm having شوي medical issues, but it's gonna be inshallah sorted out in the future. I wish I had that mentality, but I was young, you know, and I can't be blamed as well.
Yeah.
So that yeah, I want to just clear that, you know, like sometimes even though if you're suffering from something, it's bad. I'm not like يعني I'm not making fun of it or something. لا والله. بس يعني look to others, you know, and be grateful, you know. Be grateful because wallah it works.
Yes.
My mom used to tell me, Mansour, by the time. I was like, Mom, inshallah, خلاص, surely by the time. I'm suffering, يعني خلاص, I'm living now. Why should I think and plan for the future? But no, it worked. Alhamdulillah, I overcame يعني a lot of things, you know. Heard as let me say. That I swear I had the thoughts that I'm gonna be stuck in it. خلاص, أنا كمنصور حكيت راح أعيش هيك للأبد. Even there's one doctor who told me that. He was like, you should like يعني yourself ولازم تحب كيف شكلك خلص حتى لو عشت للأبد. I'm like no ما بدي الشكل الأبد يا أخي. أنا بدي في المستقبل يكون مثلا شكلي غير, you know. I have the right to think this way. صح ولا لا?
Yeah. So it is more targeted to self-image.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And if I would just want to comment on something you said is that
sure.
when you'd be like, okay, so my only problem is basically self-image. Some people are blind, like you said. Some people lost a leg. Some people can't even move.
Yeah.
And saying that, it is more like shaming yourself, especially when it's that voice in your head. So it's more like shame on you. You're like sad or you're depressed because of a very small problem. And this is where it goes bad. Like I'm sorry, Mansour, that but
no, it's good. It's okay. It was long time ago, but honestly, that was because you know I'm being honest. That was my true feeling. I'm like, it's not that bad, you know. But if you may clarify,
but like, go ahead.
Nada? Wait.
I need to clarify because you just like you gave me a trigger. You keep
Yeah.
That's
and
so much to
Sorry, my
say.
bad.
Go ahead.
so,
Yeah.
so when you're like, okay, shame on you for feeling bad, and some people have it worse. Who said that these people deserve to feel bad and you don't deserve to feel bad? Because these people didn't go through the same exact situation that you did.
Mhm.
So the voice in your head, I always tell people that there's a difference between the voice that people target to you and the voice inside of your head. Some because you need a support system, and the
Yeah,
voice inside of your head is the strongest influence on you. So when you be like,
no doubt.
okay, yes, my only problem is self-image,
Mhm,
and I feel so terrible about it.
mhm,
Maybe I can fix it
mhm.
and show others and be an inspiration, be, to motivate other people.
You
Mhm.
know exactly. Sorry, are you done? Because I have one comment
خلصت
about.
خلاص. Because هو when you think about something, it's kind of related to three things.
Yeah, yeah, I was lost. Like
So
I think that's the right word to say. Yeah, I was lost.
yeah,
Yeah.
because so is a شيء بيضايقك شوية, you kind of think about it about yourself, that okay, I'm not satisfied with
Mhm,
what I look. When it
mhm.
gets more, let's use Hayes terminology, severe, it
Yeah,
goes
yeah,
more
yeah.
into, okay, what others are thinking. Okay, now people are
Exactly.
judging me. This is
Exactly.
more severe. It
Mhm.
gets the most severest when you start to think about the future.
Future.
Yeah,
That's what I
so
had.
okay,
Yeah, yeah.
how am I gonna look in my wedding? Like, okay,
Yeah, and like how will
Yeah.
yeah.
and one thing that had me like that was the hardest like moment in my life actually, Anna Kamasur, when I went to the hospital. I traveled, I stopped school. So the doctor who met my father, he was like, I have a medicine that will like fix muscle situation إلى آخره. So please come to our hospital. المهم, so when we went there, I took his medicine for 3 months. I stayed in the hospital for 1 week. I did everything he asked me to do. When we came back to the UAE, my father called him. He was like, my father was a bit mad. He's like, ما في شيء تحسن, ما في شيء تغير. Like, يعني, what the heck, what's going on? He was like, no, my medicine is fine. I had some people who like شافوا منه. The problem is in your son, not with the medicine, you know?
Ouch.
So yeah, so that sentence اللي هو خلاص خلاني, I'm like, I don't want to live anymore, يعني, honestly, at
Yeah.
that time. But now, Mansoor,
That's like bullying. That's like your
Yeah,
doctor
like what
bullying
the
you.
hell?
yeah, yeah, because
What the
the
hell
doctor
is that? Yeah.
came from a stupid like place. He wasn't like
Stupid doctor.
the
Yeah.
background. He wasn't the best
And if
doctor.
I want to
He
comment
was
on
like,
this,
yeah.
yeah, أحس إنه this whole meeting went to like a therapy session for Mansoor, but
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I'm waiting for others to. I'm just sharing my experience,
yeah.
because I wish I could
So
benefit
let me
others.
comment on this, because I feel like a lot of people are going through this,
Mhm,
especially in the Middle East, where a
mhm.
doctor or a professional be like, okay, I know more than you, so just like shut up and listen to me.
Yeah, oh
Yeah,
my God.
yeah,
And well, how I look at it is that you have a relationship with this doctor, patient relationship with this doctor, but you have a relationship with yourself. The relationship with yourself is that you're suffering from low self-esteem and you want to lose weight and you want to look better.
mhm.
Shaylee, you don't know is that that doctor has a relationship with himself as well. ممكن هو he is insecure. ممكن he knows that this
Oh,
medicine
صح.
is not working. So it's like, no, it's not me, it's you.
It's you. Yeah,
It's like a
that's
Oh,
what,
defense
like,
mechanism. Yeah.
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So I
What?
feel
Oh
like
my God.
most of the time when like people are arguing, or like just anyone in general, when they like arguing and
Mhm,
like
Sorry. Yeah.
it's, I forgot what the exact point is, but then every
Mm.
time I look at them, I was like, it's clear that the way they're getting mad at something so stupid is because it's from the inside. So
From
sometimes
the
Yeah.
when I
inside.
feel like
Yeah.
why that person is attacking me, I'll be like, no, that's from the inside. So he has a
Mhm.
problem with himself first, so I'm not gonna take it personally because
صح.
it's their
Yeah.
fault.
It's
I agree.
like,
I agree.
yeah.
I agree with that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree
Yeah,
with that. No, no,
Yeah.
صح.
It's like
because
they have this insecurity thing and you're like pressing on a wound.
yes,
Mm.
So yeah, they're like, ah, but it's more
yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
yeah,
them.
yeah,
Yeah. And
exactly.
yeah.
So I've
But
experienced
And
that
it's
with, like,
sad. Yeah.
and it's like you want to help, but the people, like, sometimes they're like too stubborn. Like that's the thing, they're not self-aware. So like
They're
when they're
not
not
self-aware.
self-aware, that's when they cause harm to their surroundings. So it's like a
mhm,
collateral where you get hurt.
mhm.
You know, so that's
Yeah.
it. And also about your case, it's the thing is like when you're in a mental state or something, it's not like you want to compare yourself. You're always grateful for what you are, and that's you have to learn that first. But then again, I feel like it's like having to deal with yourself too. Like comparing to yourself, I feel like would put more comparing yourself to other situations would put more pressure on you to feel better. But then you're not fixing why.
But you know, yeah,
That's
I agree with it. I agree with it. والله. But honestly, that mindset that made me like مش compare to look at others. That was my word. إنه to look يعني شوف غيرك. You know كيف ربنا أعطاك أشياء ما أعطاهم إياها. أعطاك نعم أنعم عليك وأخذها منه صراحة. أكيد بعوضهم في شيء أحسن. لكن هذا المايند سيت ساعدني كثير لأنه honestly when I was like there for 1 week. I didn't appreciate the moment that they were like asking me questions, constant questions. They were like, Mansoor, what do you think about that? Mansoor, مش عارف شو. Sometimes they're showing me pictures. I'm like, يعني أنا مش I'm sorry على المصحف. أنا مش مريض نفسي, you know. يعني why are you like ليش بتتعاملوا معي هيك? I was like pissed honestly at that time. But now, والله, I appreciate these treatments. The doctors that were trying to help me, I really appreciate them. I wish
They
I could
labeled you.
Yeah, exactly. I wish I could again. But that mentality which my mom صراحة she helped me with that. Maybe as Nada said, والله, it's a bit like wrong when you look to others a lot. يعني you should appreciate what you're going through لأنه يمكن غيرك ما مر فيه. هذا صراحة أنا بتفق معه كثير. Like no one knows your true feeling إلا أنت نفسك لأنه أنت اللي مرت فيه. ممكن أنا أحكي لك أنا حاس فيك بس ما بقدر أحكي لك أنا حاس في شعورك لأنه شعورك هو شعورك مش شعوري.
But then again,
آمن فيها. But at the same time, when I saw like students in school who like مثلا ما بقدر يلعب PE لأنه صراحة للأسف ما عنده رجل وأنا قاعد بلعب PE. فأم like no منصور يعني احمد ربك كمان أنت صراحة you're being a bit weak when you're like oh أنا عندي هذا الإشي ما حدا.
And your goal is reachable. Your goal is reachable.
Definitely, like some people, it's like
that's the thing.
Somehow a hopeless case.
So, yeah, go for it.
And then again, like sometimes when you said like the other point when you said like people we feel like they're weak or like their thing is weak. For another person, you're weak. So there isn't like a weak in whatever. It's different scales and how people are going through it. يعني مثلا as you said, مثلا our parents don't really care about like the mental and whatever because like that's how like they were taught to survive. I always point this out. No, like it's a full cycle of different many like diverse topics. But then again, like we're taught to survive, so they were used to ignoring that. So when it came to us, that's how they raised us. So they don't know what's that. I think like they know after they settled and like they started get like like it started like piling up back on them. But then again, like it's a cycle, so like we were in that's how we were raised. And
exactly, and I agree with like حتى one good example to share like أيام زمان like when my father came to the country before even كان حتى في اتحاد he was like 16 years old. They literally had nothing, so he want to start من تحت الصفر. مثلا اوكي الحين وصل انه الحمد لله in a very good situation, so I'm like طب انت هذا كله ما أثر فيك. That's what I'm trying to say, you know.
Exactly, yeah. They were also taught to bury it. It's not like they didn't have it, they just buried it.
It's from personality to personality, and the lucky thing about us, Haya, is that for women it is much more acceptable to talk about feelings, but for men it's like
like you lose your masculinity when you're like
when you're showing feelings.
Nada did the same reaction my mom always do. She's like Mansoor talk. I'm like no عادي ما في شيء مرة طيب. She's like خف علينا يعني انت هيك مش رجال, you know.
So I like that feeling is more like from society. That's what society
again, that's how they portray, that's how we're framed.
Okay, like regarding the changes that happens with your mental health, for example issues or the changes يعني بشكل عام, does it like differ from if it happens like suddenly or through time يعني مع الوقت? Like what are the differences?
It does. Yeah. So ما في شيء اسمه it's a sudden thing, because when you're talking about sudden thing or something that happens, we're talking more if it's a stressor or it's a trigger.
Okay.
And the difference between a stressor and a trigger is that stressors are something from external. يعني مثلا I am stressed out and I need to go to work and there's a lot of traffic. You know,
Yeah,
something
okay.
min barra, it's externally, and I can't do anything about it. Like
So,
I can't just
yeah,
ride a plane and go to work.
yeah.
But triggers are something internal. And if, for example, I don't like conflicts because
Mm,
maybe something in the past that I have like a bad experience with conflict.
mhm,
Maybe I don't want to like get in a fight. I don't
mm,
want this or that. So it
yeah.
differs between both. So a stressor can be instant. In a
Mhm,
sense, I'm just gonna get angry. I might
mhm,
start getting anxious. Actually, I might be late to work.
mhm.
A trigger is more like, okay, I'm gonna be late to work because my boss, for example, will give me like a whole lecture about why you shouldn't be late. And this is a very respected
Yeah.
company, and this is not
Mhm.
I mean, ما هو
فهمت
مقبول.
عليك. Yeah.
Yeah, so it kind of comes. You have to look at the past, right?
Yeah.
Because
Mm,
if you want to look at us as children, something that happened in like a past event, and because of our society, we don't talk about it,
yeah.
then it's kind of just stuck in your head.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
more, it's called like an activating event. An activating event is more into like things that happened in the past, and we just keep on thinking about it, and it
Yeah.
really hurts us.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, have you ever like felt like I am sad and I don't know why I'm sad? I'm just like
Yeah.
a situation happened and I feel like so bad. I feel like I just want to
Yeah.
like disappear, and I just don't know why. And
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it is just
Exactly.
these
So
layers
it depends.
because
It depends on the situation, right? Like more
it depends
on
on the
the
situation.
situation
Yeah,
more than the time. Yeah.
depends on your experiences on
Hmm.
what is happening right now. Because as there are things that you know about yourself and people don't know about you, there are certain things that you don't even know about yourself.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
صح.
Yeah.
صح. You discover them حتى like when you're put خلاص in a situation or
Mhm.
you can't run away. You have to deal with it. You discover something new about yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree with it. Yeah.
So I was thinking,
Yeah.
since now, like, do you still like you do still take like give less like personal coaching when in quarantine, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now like let's say a patient with like I don't know, I don't want to go too hard, but maybe like the most common, maybe like depression or again anxiety. Did it increase? How did it differ? Or was it like from one person to another? Or do you see like a pattern with most of your clients or patients?
So the correlation between COVID-19 and
Mental.
mental health, let's say that,
Mm.
actually it increased. And why did it increase? This is my hypothesis, my personal hypothesis, that you're sitting alone, and sometimes you feel like, okay, I'm sitting alone, and I have
Why
no
not?
one.
Why not
But
think
the
about
truth
myself?
is, exactly, you're sitting alone with your mind, and then your mind is bored. You're bored, and your mind like, okay, let me give you some
Get
problems.
out the old files,
Oh
yalla.
my God.
Start.
So
Self-doubt,
you start
yalla.
It's not
yeah,
only like
self doubt.
quarantine itself. It's every single time you have nothing to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's automatically happens.
yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah.
Yeah,
agree. I agree with
It's
it.
so
But
and
bad.
maybe these are just thoughts that you're pushing back. You know,
I was just
these
about
are
to say
thoughts
that.
Yeah,
that,
true. Yeah.
yeah, you're
Yeah.
getting too distracted in life and everything you're doing that you never actually had time to actually focus on them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Um, you said in the mirror, and you're just like, oh my God, why am I so ugly? Ugly is a very harsh word, but people are being like, why am I like this? Why? And people, you know, there's a study that they did about people who are sitting a lot in like social media and watching TV shows, and people who are not that much into like social media and TV shows, and people are likely to be more depressed when they're like 24/7 on social media because you keep on comparing yourself to these people, right?
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're sitting there on Instagram, on TikTok, and you'd be like, oh wow, oh wow, oh wow. And then you look at yourself and you're like, ugh, you're like,
yeah.
what is wrong with me? Yeah,
I
and
love
this,
the drop. It's like, oh,
yeah, because
Yeah.
basically, what are people doing in quarantine? It's like, I
not,
discovered TikTok in quarantine.
Yeah. Me
Basically.
too. Me too. Like
I don't know
when
if
it
that's a
comes
good
when it
thing,
comes
but
to
So you
social
downloaded
media,
TikTok.
Aya is always making fun of me when it comes to social media. She's like, "You must you're too old." But
because
honestly,
I
yeah,
send
يعني,
him memes, he doesn't understand.
it was a weird meme. Come on, يعني مش
It's not a
هالدرجة.
weird meme. We've been arguing about this meme for like a month now.
No, like honestly, like I don't focus on social media, but at the same time, I know I need it. Like Mansoor, you need social media, you know?
Mansoor, you downloaded TikTok?
No. Mariam, I literally don't know nothing about TikTok. Wallah, don't make fun of me, but I swear to God. What I do,
No,
I just
keep it that way. It's better for you.
yeah, Instagram. Okay, Instagram أنا like I'm good in it. But yeah, honestly, زي ما حكت ندى هذا الشيء ساعدني. When I had like one day like I had a goal in mind, I was like completely not focusing on my social media, like literally only the messages that comes to WhatsApp. I left it for 3 months actually. والله it helped me a lot. Like I was like okay مصور بس انت نفس الوقت انت الحين ضايع ما بتعرف شو بيصير في العالم, like you know what's going on out there, but at the same time it made me like focus and work super hard. I never worked in my life, I swear I never worked hard in my life like these 3 months. I did everything I can, you know, to succeed يعني. So yeah, it worked actually. Like sometimes it do work, but it's hard. Let's be honest يعني.
It has its pros and cons because like I found myself through the people and influencers on YouTube, on Instagram and stuff. And then but like you have to know how to limit yourself because like overdoing it would be like it would strike back.
Yeah.
So,
Sometimes when I do something like I post it on social media وبتوقع like feedback معين في راسي. When it doesn't, you feel me? Like when it doesn't happen, I'm like, oh shit, I failed. I didn't get the like feedback I wanted. But at the same time, it drives me to like post another thing, work hard, so people like can خلاص finally.
It's like
but social media wise, like the content you put out, it all like the quality all depends on the people.
Yeah.
So it's a kind of like. It's like
something
not a good thing to set expectations.
It's not a good thing. It's hard, Mariam, like because you need your audience. At the same time, when you're working, you don't need them. You know, you're like, I'm gonna do it by myself. I'm gonna create it, blah blah blah. I'm gonna post it. But at the same time, when you post it, to whom are you posting it? You know,
there are two things when it comes to like posting something on social media. So us as humans, we tend to love to read minds. And we tend to love to be fortune or future tellers. So we love to predict, be like, oh my god, this picture I look so buff, I'm gonna like post it. This is for you, Mansoor, you look so buff, and I'm gonna post this on Instagram, and I'm gonna get like 300 likes, and everybody's gonna be like, wow, Mansoor, you're like amazing.
Yeah.
And you look at that picture, and it's not about, okay, Mansoor, how do you feel about this picture? It's more like people are gonna look at it and be like, wow. So you predict the let's say 3,000 likes, and you predict how people are gonna react. And this is kind of normal to, because we're humans. We love to do these things.
Exactly.
Yeah. We like to know what we'll expect. Yeah. Okay, so I have a question, and it's about again mental health, obviously. So basically, about a person that doesn't open up, and it's like he's like so closed about saying stuff, maybe because like they're too stubborn to do it, or maybe because like they don't feel comfortable doing that. Is that a healthy thing, or they should find at least like one person, or is it okay to like be your own therapist? So how do you deal with such situations?
Well, ما في شيء بيقول إنه okay, if you talk about your problems, you're healthy. If you don't talk about your problems, you're not healthy. It doesn't exist. There's no rule to say that. So to let people open, it's not easy, especially when someone never opened up, and when they open up, it is hard for them, right? So there are techniques. Okay, slowly, trust me. You know, it comes more to like trust, comes more to like understand and the awareness why you don't want to talk. Because the whole problem is linked to why you don't want to talk. Mumkin that person said something that he felt to his father or to his mother, for example, and they laughed about it in front of like a group of people.
Yeah.
So maybe the question of why they're not opening up is the actual problem.
Exactly.
You know? It goes back to like awareness. You want to know you want to answer the question why. It goes back to what we just said about mind reading and predictions, because I predict that if I opened up, people will just laugh it out. People won't care. Mind reading, people are just going to judge me.
صعب صراحة at the moment. It's very hard for someone to realize like what you're saying is exactly. يعني شو reading?
It's a lack of understanding from another person, because
I don't blame them. It's something يعني مش easy كمان صراحة هاي, like it's not something easy.
it's not easy, but it doesn't mean you should like insignify or like don't give significance to what another person's feeling.
It goes back to identify who is your support system.
Yeah.
If you want to go back to what we talked about earlier with Mansoor's case, I'm calling you a case now. It is that it's kind of like the voice in your head should also be like included in your support system, right? انت ايش بتقول لنفسك should be supportive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I keep it يعني support system. قبل ما أحكي عشان أسأل سؤال عشان أكون نفس البيج. Support system, do you mean like when you support yourself or your surroundings يعني الناس اللي حولك?
Support system is basically refers to everybody who's supporting you. You know, it might be your cat, it might be your dog, your mother, your friends.
Something funny like مثلا ما كنت أحكي مع I started to see some improvements. I was like, you know, flexing with my own, like شوفي ومش عارف شوفي كيف كان قبل شو. وهي كانت مثلا تعزز لي كثير big time. أنا الحين مثلا بس أتذكر موقف بضحك. She's like, oh, wow مش عارف شو هو ليش كنت you know. بس والله that helps like حتى with the younger generation. والله that helps. Like, you know, I do it with a lot of with the younger generation. She draws يعني a drawing which is like I'm like wow this is amazing. So والله بحس إنه the other drawings are like, you know, are better والله. Like
honestly. You're raising her self-confidence.
Yeah.
And
sometimes when I do like honestly Maryam مش إنه she's here. I والله I say it even يعني when she's not here. Like she do some art like pictures and sometimes like covers which I use. I'm like okay there are people who told me literally on WhatsApp okay Mansoor pay me هال amount or I'm gonna do it for you. I saw their samples. I'm not saying they're bad. No, they're good, mashallah. But when I saw Mariam's, يعني أحسن منهم بكثير. وما عندها المنتاليتي اللي هو عندها إياه. She's like whatever you ask her, she's gonna do. She knows how to do it. Like يعني بتسوي تخترع من عندها. هذا كله بيجي من صراحة كمان من السلف كونفيدنس ونفس ما حكت نادى السبورت سيستم اللي حولك. when you have a good support system أنت تسعى إنك تتحسن في الإيش اللي بتسويه you know.
So is it like true that like it's not like you have to open up completely to a person to have so they can have your support, like just them being a support system, not just not directly to the case you have, like what you're self-aware of, like if you have anxiety, not just like you don't want to open up about your anxiety, but the other like stuff around it, like hopping around anxiety, they support you. So like you know, like they're your support system for everything, but like you don't open up about anxiety yet it supports your anxiety. So it's the fact that it's correct, right?
So think about anxiety and what you just said. There's a meme that is spreading around that first thing you know that you have an anxiety is when you watch the same TV show over and over again. Right, and to some people, this reduces their anxiety. Meditation reduces your anxiety. These things are added up to social. She got her cut.
She came.
So these things are added up to to like a support system because like getting up and doing meditation, you're supporting yourself, right? So it goes back to who is giving you that action.
Yeah, actually I do it a lot.
So as you said, like like your cat can be your support system, but like it doesn't know that you have anxiety or anything. So like you just have it there.
It makes you feel good.
Yeah, you know, cats also have anxiety. You know, my cat was at one point. My cat was depressed.
I don't know much about cats since I'm a dog person, so I don't know much about cats.
Well, Nada, I want to ask you about a quote. Like, I want to know your opinion, if you agree or disagree with it. Sometimes they tell me, Mansoor, you should like work hard and do whatever you're doing, even though if you have like a small audience. Like, enjoy the audience you have, without like you like trying to get a new fan base with a new audience. So do you agree with it or no? Like, and some people are like Mansoor, but at the same time, if you don't have a new audience, you're not improving.
You definitely grow.
So I
This
don't know, like,
goes more to this. Like the first example that popped in my head
mm,
is basically choose this career because you're gonna get more money, you're gonna get more clients than
yeah,
choosing something that you love.
Yeah.
And
uh-huh,
that's the same thing. I am doing something that I love and I have a small audience. It means that if I love it, I'm gonna improve at it. I would be willing to improve at it, and
yeah,
I will be tended to work hard into getting more audience.
right, exactly, yeah,
But if I'm doing
Exactly.
something that I don't really like, I don't have that inner motivation, then I might just be like, meh, next.
Yeah,
hmm
exactly.
hmm
Yeah. And
hmm
that again like
Yeah,
goes back to like again how we might be raised and like the survival mode of parents.
yeah, yeah,
Like they didn't
yeah,
again I see this literally in most of the topics. It's again they didn't have the luxury of choosing like we do. They didn't have that mentality of like if I'm like they only have the mentality of like good major so I can get good money. But like you can get
yeah,
way double that money because like it's not just about money, it's about again happiness, internal happiness and all that
yeah,
stuff. But like again,
yeah, yeah,
if you're passionate about it, you're gonna go higher than what is supposed to be like the best major job or something.
best
Yeah.
mate,
So did you studying your major help better understand yourself and what like your mental state?
definitely, definitely, yeah, yeah.
So
Like
like
before I even started my practice, I used to go to counseling.
Really?
Cause yeah, cause you know when you get on a plane and they're always like put if something happened in the plane, la samhallah, put the oxygen to yourself first, then to
hmm
your
yeah,
child.
hmm
And if it's the same thing, if any therapist, any any professional, if I'm not good with myself, how can I help someone else?
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like an eye
Like
doctor
yeah,
with
being
glasses.
yeah.
being
So,
as like for example a finance consultant, if I'm
hmm
not good financially, how can I
hmm
help someone else? It's like I
Yeah.
can't even open this
Yeah.
firm. Yeah,
Yeah.
so, did you
You're
so
like what you're
betraying
doing,
your
Nada? Did you
I
like
love
what
what
you,
I'm doing.
yeah,
I
like
love what I'm
you
yeah,
chose
it's
it,
like
right? With full like
yeah,
satisfaction, right?
yeah. I mean like I still want to grow. I
So
started
that's
my
why I think
field.
that's why you're like, mashallah, till hint, you're like so good in it. We have a cool
Thank you.
Instagram picture. Yeah,
Oh,
because in the future it's gonna change dramatically, even, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is more because people are going like, oh my God, you're helping people, then it's better to be like a counselor with a PhD. Oh no, oh you have a master's, don't improve more. Oh bachelor, improve more.
they always want
And to
more
be
for
Yeah, it's more
Yeah,
about
yeah.
status. And the thing about it is that you don't need status. You need to have the tools to help the client because the client is your number one priority. I mean,
hmm
yeah.
I thought that, okay, I'm not gonna counsel or I'm not gonna help people is except with like a master's in counseling or a master's in clinical psychology because you can't practice except with a master's in counseling or
Yeah,
clinical
yeah.
psychology. I was like, well, no. And people were like, okay, so I chose the campaign as I talked about earlier that I'm gonna
Mm.
spread awareness. But I felt like I have this inside of me that I want to help people. I can deal with clients now. And
Mhm.
that's why I took the route of the life coaching.
I
Something weird.
honestly, yeah, I totally respect this mindset. Honestly, with you know that it's like it's how like people should think, and like people who definitely are dealing with patients, let alone
Mhm.
mental health. Like people, it's not like when I say mental health, people usually link it to like a crazy person, but it's not. Like everyone needs that. Everyone needs counseling,
Yeah.
but
أكيد أكيد
yeah,
يعني.
and people don't admit to it mostly. But like I totally respect that because also like definitely like when you're treating a patient, like it's not like خلاص روحي like it's not like a client, it's a patient again. مش إنه
It's a
يعني
human.
احكي لي
Yeah.
بحكي معك. It's just like and then leave. It's a life.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like you respect what's behind that and you respect the
أيوة.
collateral of everything they're going through and stuff, which is
And
rare, honestly, and ironically.
yeah, I have a question. I think I'm gonna change the whole topic, but I honestly have
Okay.
no clue about it. I think I'm gonna say it wrong, Aslan. But what is sabotage? Sabotage? I don't know.
Self-love.
Self-sabotage. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Can you please
Okay. So
explain it to me, Nada?
yeah. So let's start our beautiful lecture. So there is a state that people go through. It's called the disturbance state. And it is more linked to an anxiety and so on. It's the state where you can't feel, you can't think logically, and you're just like you feel so down, and you don't know why, and you don't even want to know why,
Yeah,
right? You're just sitting there, and you're like, I don't
yeah,
want to do
yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
So when somebody is in a disturbance mode, they go into 3 phases that they want to, basically 3 things that they do. So one of them is that they just want to be isolated. And second thing is that they do behaviors, or they tend to like try to prevent some behaviors. And the third thing is self-destruct.
Okay.
Okay, and self-destruct, it goes more to like okay, so I binge eating is one of them. They, there's a stereotype that, okay, people who are depressed, they don't shower and they're like sitting in a room that is not organized, and it's kind of linked to that.
Yeah.
Alcoholism, if we're like in a different region, yeah, it is like I'm already bad. And it kind of goes more with the thought of your head. I'm already bad. I'm not a good person. I don't like
Yeah.
myself. So let me continue that road.
Like, what's gonna be worse? Yeah.
So
What is going to be worse? And to some people, it is easier to continue the damage instead of actually improving.
How do you improve if you're in that stage?
yeah.
How do you improve during that stage? I always like to visualize it as a muscle, since we're talking about fitness and boxing and so on. When you get like an injury in like your shoulder, what do like physiotherapists say? Okay, let it relax for a little bit, and then we're gonna start a treatment plan. It is the same thing when you're in a disturbance mode. You kind of like, you can't think logically. So take a few days, try to relax, try to like take a break, and then okay, be aware of yourself. What is wrong? What is actually triggering me? Because to some people, being overweight or being underweight is a trigger for them. It is not. The actual weight or the actual scale number is not what is triggering you. There's something behind it.
So then again, like, so people would rather drift with the tide than paddle against the wave. I would love to say that.
Yes.
Beautiful thing. Beautiful.
So just go along instead of paddling back. Because honestly, it is easier. Not just like, take simple examples. Like, you'd rather sit at home on the couch instead of like going to the gym or being active or going out. Like, it's easier to stay where you are than go against the tide. Yeah.
بس I respect. I'm sorry if I may add something. I respect when people are like trying to advise me because they care about my like health. يعني they're like, Mansoor, you have to lose some weight. You have to كذا. I totally respect. But some people, they bring it in a way you're like, if I didn't lose weight, I'm gonna die. ما خصو,
You're gonna
like, something يعني weird and something يعني it's not gonna convince me. كيف اقتنع في كلامك وانت like اسلوبك كله غلط.
You're saying it in a bad way. Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's the thing, because there's a difference between commenting or like telling you something to actually for you to help yourself. And on the other side, I'm just saying that to you. I'm like, hey, Mansoor, you're overweight just to make me feel better. So it has something to do with that person and their relationship with themselves. And there's a saying, everybody says this and they laugh about it. It's like, I am better at solving people's problems than my own problems. Everybody laughs about it. It's like a meme right now. It's like, okay, I'm like my friend's counselor. When it comes to me, it's like, and you're out of the picture, right? When you're out of the picture, you don't feel it. There is no emotion. There is no feeling. So you're more logical.
Yeah, exactly. So
how can I know if I'm like self-sabotaging? I don't know if it's a word. It's new to me. Mission new. I heard it a lot. I never said it, so that's why I'm just saying it. Let me say it again. How can I know if I'm self-sabotaging?
It's again goes back to the voice in your head, right? It goes back to, what are you saying to yourself? Am I saying that okay, you don't deserve this, you don't have a purpose in your life, or you're saying that, okay, nimsik binge eating. I don't know why we're talking so much about self-image today, but okay, nimsik binge eating. I don't like my weight and I'm still binge eating. Why? Mumkin, I'm gonna say to myself, okay, I am binge eating because I feel down. Or I am binge eating because you don't deserve to look good. You look bad, you're gonna look worse. So it is, how harsh are you? Are you supporting yourself? Are you putting yourself down and lower and lower? And there's a technique that basically, if you say that, because it goes back to like talking to yourself, okay, I feel like I don't have a purpose in my life. Continue, like answer that question. Why?
Yeah.
And let
Why?
yourself
Yeah.
answer. Being like,
صحيح.
okay, I don't have a purpose in my life because I am overweight.
صحيح.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're living like 33, 34 years, and does overweight defines all of that
All of
33
that.
years?
Yes.
Never.
صح.
So,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then your brain is like, really?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 So
So
how?
it goes
Yeah.
back to that.
How do you tend to like drag people into thinking like, because like having to fight against like what you have is requires you to stand up first, right? So
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
how do you get them to
Stand up.
stand up, and then like first self-acknowledge, second, which is like gain confidence to fight what they have, or like,
Mm.
you know, like have like gain the stuff, and like again, how do they like, how do you make them stand up to fight?
Okay, so the first thing that they need to do, or that this is how I see it, is that you should identify who you are to yourself,
Yeah.
right? Who am I?
صح.
Okay, what is the thing that I
Why?
love about
Yeah.
myself? Yeah, what are the things that I hate about myself? Pro and
Mhm.
cons, and then take these cons. Okay, these are the things that I hate about myself. Can I fix them?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mumkin they have like a medical condition that is genetic, so you can't fix this one.
Mhm.
Okay, so you need to accept it. You know,
Yeah.
if you love
Exactly.
yourself, you love your body. This is something that is genetic. You can't do about it. Okay, body, thank you. I love you for taking care of it. I accept that you have this thing,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Other thing that you can change, there is hope. You can. You
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
lose the weight. You
صح.
can, for example, if you don't like your grades in school, you can fix that. You can get good
Yeah.
grades. You can
Always.
practice
Yeah.
more.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's like the pro and cons technique, and actually focusing more on the cons and trying to fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Am I contradicting myself when I'm like, when I used to be like 125 مثلا kilos, I was like, I like my weight. I'm super, I look super good. I swear I had this mentality. And they used to call me like a cool nickname. I'm gonna stay like this. But then I was like, when I has changed, يعني, I'm like, no, I like my weight now. So is it like a contradiction? Well, it's something good. It's something positive. When you have self-confidence, when you're like, you're overweight, when you're مثلا خلاص on your original weight يعني
Yeah.
بشكل عام.
So when it comes back to like weight, it is more like, okay, this is your body, and it being a medical condition, or it being eating too much. This is the normal reaction that the body is gonna be like. It's normal. You eat too much and you get this medical condition, you're gonna gain weight.
Yeah.
When you 100% accept this fact, then okay, the next step is gonna be like, okay, body, I love you. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
gonna lose weight. Why am I gonna lose weight? Am I gonna lose weight to please everybody like around me, or am I gonna lose weight for my health?
Mhm.
You know, to not get, for example, diabetes, to
Mhm.
walk better, to climb the stairs
Yeah.
better, or you know, the purpose. Why do you want to lose weight?
Yeah. Yeah.
Some people are be like, okay, I want to lose weight to be more attractive. More attractive to who?
Yeah. Exactly.
To
صح. صح
yourself,
كلامك.
or more attractive to people, or I want to lose weight to find a wife. This is more
Yeah.
like that. And yeah, I mean, you have more to offer than just your weight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true,
Yeah.
definitely.
Like,
But then again, like sometimes what you have to offer is hidden behind that weight, you know, like again,
yeah.
Exactly.
it's a confidence thing. But like you can, I feel like, I know it's unhealthy to like use people and pleasing people as a motivation, but I feel like later on in the process you learn to like love yourself too, but you started with the motivation of pleasing people. So is that a healthy thing, or is like it might be unhealthy because like they might stick to that forever?
Mhm.
So how do you like,
Pleasing people. Okay, so if you want to talk about pleasing people, there are like two definitions. First one being like, okay, like a family member, for
yeah,
example, your mom, being like, okay, أنا بنت مطيعة أحب أمي وزي كده, or people pleaser as in like, you can't say no.
Yeah.
There
yeah,
are like two different scenarios. So let me talk about the two scenarios. So when it comes to like actually, okay, so can you hear
Yeah.
me?
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's good.
It's all good.
Asad?
I
It's
think
good.
سماعي يمكن فصلت بس we can hear you.
Okay, so yeah, so when we want to talk about being like, okay, I'm gonna do this for my mom, I'm gonna do this for family member, it goes more to your relationship with them. It goes more to a relationship of giving and taking. Like, I owe you one per se.
Yeah.
But if you want to talk about being a people pleaser, being like, I can't say no, if you told me to do this or do that, I'm going to do it for you, then it has something to do with your acceptance with yourself. Yeah, I feel like if I want to like sum it up, it's more to say, who is that person to you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So we're talking about proving people wrong,
Yeah.
and if you believe in yourself, if it is something that you truly want to change or you truly want to accomplish, then why not?
Yeah.
That was like,
Because I did it like several times to just. Of course, I want to do it for myself. Wallah, if it wasn't for myself, I wouldn't like even try or work hard. But at the same time, there are some comments, so I swear, literally, I never forgot. يعني
yeah,
قرأتهم ولزقوا في مخي خلاص. I'm
yeah,
like I'm like أنا ما بحقد بس أنا بدي أثبت إنه أنت غلط, you know.
yeah.
Like yeah, you're wrong.
You believe in yourself, and that's what's important.
Do you offer like you said like you have like online chats with people.
Yeah.
So like can we like hit you up sometime and be like, oh,
Of course. Actually, my first sessions are like free, since the first session is more like a meet and greet, so I don't like to charge people for that. But yes, and I have student discounts. I have my what's it called, my website on Instagram. It's in my link.
Yeah, I saw the part.
Okay. And thank
like,
you,
I
Mansoor,
wish.
for like sharing all of your past experiences.
No doubt. I swear I
Thank
did
you,
it
Mansoor,
just
for
to.
sharing your experience.
Yeah, I did it
That's
to
what we're
make.
like.
I always do it to people who like يعني if they're going through the same things or مش the same exact same أشياء like similar, because I totally respect when people do share their experience to benefit others. That's what I try to do sometimes, you know. So yeah.
Okay, so I have a question for you now. So if like people come to you and like ask for advice with their problems and stuff, does it ever affect you? I don't know if you asked that question already. But do their
So
problems
actually, yeah, it's a really, really good question, and thank you for caring about me and my feelings. Well, actually, we are trained to actually not get these two.
Really? That's so really I need
because if you tell me a sad story and I became sad, then we're both sad and we're sitting in a corner crying. That's what we were trained to do. Like in my life coaching training, I had like a huge course that is mainly focusing on not getting attached emotionally or feelings, or even like interconnecting my experience to yours, because it is different, right? So yeah, it is like
But do you ever get affected from like the stories and stuff? I mean, you're human. Like you cannot train to automatically just stop it, you know?
Well, the thing about what I do is that I can't be like, okay, for example, if someone is dealing with like domestic violence, I can't be like, get out of your house. So, you try to be like, okay, let's think of alternatives. Let's think of something to like actually help you. And then the decision is there. All you can say is that, please take care of yourself and I'm here for you.
Yeah.
You can't take that extra mile and be like, okay, I'm suffering from domestic violence, yalla, I'm coming with you to your house and like kick your family member's ass. You can't do that.
I always wanted, like a few months ago or like a year ago, I was telling like I wanted to be like something like you, I wanted to be like a therapist or something, someone where I can like help, or they like come to me with their problems and stuff. But every person I tell that to, they keep telling me that no, you're gonna get messed up, or you're gonna
they always tend to say that.
And then and honestly, like knowing myself, I feel like I would, because I'm extremely, I don't know, I feel like I'm sensitive to that. Like if people are coming to me talking about like domestic violence, for example, the same thing, I would be so like, I don't know what I would do. I don't know, honestly. I might go to their family and kick
it's all with training. I mean, it's training as in
when you study it, they're gonna prepare you for it. It's not like, okay,
Yeah.
you don't have any weapons and just go to the war
Yeah.
field. No,
It's super tough actually. People needs to understand and appreciate. يعني that's not easy. It's not easy at all
Yeah.
actually. You know.
Yeah, definitely. I love this question.
I'm always gonna like
Yeah.
have this type of, I don't know what.
Shahid one day, inshallah. One day. Why not? You
No,
know.
I don't think. Maybe the most of my family, like if anyone I know has a problem, they'll come to me. But I don't think I'll do it as a job.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it's hard, but it's really cool though. It's really, really cool. Like if I was your friend, I would probably be asking you questions every day. Like, how is it?
You're my friend, I won't answer you.
Good.
Now, did you have a question for us?
Well, I love what you guys are doing, and I am very, very happy. And it was my pleasure, like, to have this chat with you
Pleasure
guys.
to have you. Yeah, appreciate it.
We're super grateful to have you here.
Yeah,
والله.
definitely. Honestly, yeah.
It's one of the most beneficial episodes till now. أكثر أنا
Thanks.
تعلمت فيه honestly.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time. Like,
Can't
for
thank
your
you enough
time,
for
Nada.
now. Yeah.
We're gonna have you inshallah again one more time in the
Definitely.
future.
Of course.